Here with head coach Jordan Dupuy, the Lady Demons, the final week of the regular season. And coach, we were just talking about it. I think the only thing that's certain is there's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of jumbling, and I'm glad I don't have to try to figure out the tie-breaking scenarios. But for you guys facing Nichols on Wednesday at home and UCA on Saturday at home, it's very cut and dried. You got to win too.
Yeah, and that's what I told the girls. I said, don't worry about who everybody else is playing, what they've got to do. We've got to take care of our situation, what's in front of us. The good thing is we don't have to get on a bus at all this week to try and do that. We can sleep in our own beds, practice in our own gym, shoot around in our own gym. But we've got to play a lot better this time around than we did the first time with Nichols. 18 of 32 from the free throw line. They were 37 of 47. We have 36 total fouls. We missed, I believe, 11 or 12 layups and still shot 50% from the field. So a lot of positives in that game. We played extremely hard in that game. I don't think we necessarily played efficient and executed. So hopefully we'll do that at home. We'll have a lot more comfort on both ends of the floor because now we're toward the end of the season. We know they're going to play extremely well, and they're on that 5-game winning streak, and they have the best player in the conference.
How much has this, you mentioned it was the first conference game, how much has your team changed in the 16 to 17 games since then?
I think there's a confidence there that we can win games in the 50s and 60s, and then if we have to score 80 to 90 to win, we can do that as well. We just have to find that consistency, which we haven't done. You look at our past week, and we give up 100 at UIW, and then we turn around and give up 56 in a 50-minute game against Southeastern. So it's like if we're defending well, our offense isn't there, and if our offense is there, we're not good on the defensive end. We've yet to really put it both together for an entire game, and that's the time of year where we absolutely need it. We need it this week, and we need it on Wednesday.
Well, like you said, very cut and dried. Win, you're in, or winning, you're probably in these two games. And I would think, as you mentioned, putting up 86 down at Nichols has to give you confidence. And now, if you can hit that perfect game, there's no better time to do it than Wednesday night.
There's no doubt, too. And there was a 73-72 difference in that game at Nichols with about 5.5 in the game. And to be in that situation on the road, first conference game against the defending tournament champions, we felt pretty good about it. But then, I don't want to use the word collapse, but we just didn't finish the way that we needed to. So the fact that we knew we were right there on the road in that first game, I think we've played a lot better. We've got some people that are stepping up. I look at Victoria Miller, was only 2 of 3 in that game, and now looking to her as our third scorer, our best rebounder, very good defender on both ends, able to communicate and be an extension of our coaching staff out on the floor. So there's just a lot of growth there. Rayvon has now gone through pretty much an entire conference season, and so hopefully playing at home, knowing the situation, having been through a lot of battles and being battle tested, will play extremely well on Wednesday.
Well, you do that. If you're able to get that win, that Saturday game becomes huge. It's already going to be important for one reason. It's senior day, and I think when you talked about playing last week down at Southeastern, you talked about the senior day mystique. You were able to overcome it. Took 10 extra minutes of game time. But what is it about senior day you think that seems to bring out some of that mystique, for lack of a better word?
I think it's just the emotion involved, and it's all on how you handle it. You can press and not play well, but then again, too, you can play and be confident and say, I'm going to go out with a bang, and I've been more a part of senior days that have gone in that direction than the latter. And so, it's one of those things where you got to make sure you stick within the game plan, let the game come to you, but you play confident, you want to go out with a bang, like I said. It's the last go-around. And you've got all their family and friends there, and so there is that mystique there. There's special things that happen, and hopefully we're in a situation where we can make something special happen on Saturday for our seniors.
You have 4 of them, and they're all playing key roles. Nautica Grant, the fourth quarter of the last 2 games really has belonged to her in 2 different ways. She had 17, hit 5 threes in the fourth quarter at UIW, and then comes up with a key steal in the final 2 free throws Saturday down at Southeastern. I know Coach Mike's kind of talked about Ish on the men's side playing in this now mentality. Is it seem to kind of see the same thing with the seniors as this season draws to a close?
Yeah, and we've been talking about it for the last month, and really the whole season, how fast it's going to go for them. Again, their last time to ever put on that uniform, it's coming down to the end, and we still have something to play for, and it's good to wake up every day and have something to play for. You talked about Nautica being able to close, and I think about a play against Southeastern. We ran a play that we called Scissors 2 that we don't run very much. Didn't run the whole game. Had a feeling she was going to hit a shot, and it was great execution on our part. And she made a shot basically fading toward the baseline that we executed perfectly to put us up 5 in that situation. And that's what seniors do. They come through with big plays, and like you said, the key steal at the end. So these games always come down to things that aren't going to necessarily show up in the stat sheet, but those are things that she's doing that are showing up in the stat sheet, and we're going to need it from all of our seniors on Wednesday and Saturday.
I think you mentioned Libba Gillum Saturday after the game, that she did a lot of those things that didn't show up. She had 15 points, but she usually scores well against Southeastern to begin with. But those little things on either end, her, Sammy Thomas, Leah Barnes, same thing with all those seniors.
No doubt. Sammy hit a big shot against their zone. We executed their zone motion. We didn't see a lot of their zone, but when we did, we executed it and got a shot right there in the paint. Libba hit some big time shots. That 3-ball from deep in our 1-4 high set that she stepped out, shot it with confidence. They hit one, went up 3. We came down, hit one, and answered it. We also drew up an out of bounds play that we used to run last year that we haven't run this year. Drew it up and ran it a couple times, and she scored on it. Got an and one off the glass. And just playing good, solid defense, being in the right spot. There was a couple rebounds that I think she should get, and she talked about that and knows that. But just her second half play was tremendous for us. Again, like you said, 15 points that we absolutely needed. And Sammy's going to have to step up and run the team. She's going through some health issues right now, but she's battling. She knows the severity of the situation, the urgency of the situation. And she wants to be a part of it. And the same thing with Leah. Leah's fighting through injuries like always. And, she gave us some great minutes. And I think of how she played with such poise at the end of that third quarter. We ran a play. Time was running down. Sammy did a great job of drawing the defense. Got it to Leah. She made a great shot fake, under control, got all the way to the rim and finished it, put us to within 1 going into the fourth quarter with a lot of confidence. So they're all contributing. They all understand the urgency that they're going to have to play with this week, and hopefully they're going to play well.
Well, not only that, you talk about the end of the game at Nichols, and I think it was kind of the same thing the first time you went to Central Arkansas about a month ago. Crazy end to each quarter. I think your expression says it all there, but still in that game going into the fourth quarter, and again, just an opportunity to close that didn't happen.
Yeah, and what you're mentioning, and I hate to rehash it because it still sticks in my craw, but they had basically a half-court shot at the end of the first quarter. There was a steal that we had, Rayvon had, got fouled, didn't call it, and then they get an and one, so there was a 5-point swing at the end of the second quarter. The third quarter was a freakish foul. They threw up something at the end of the quarter. Gabby kind of ducks, and they land on top of her, excuse me, and they called a foul on Gabby. So that's 10 points at the end of the quarter that may have not been there in a normal game. And so we went down into that quarter by 7 points going into the fourth quarter. So you're right there even with all that happening, and then just didn't execute in the fourth. So, again, we can draw a lot of positives from that experience, change some things up, and hopefully we've got a lot to play for on Saturday.
And the thing is, they'll come in here possibly in the same boat. I mean, this very well could be a winner goes to Katy type game. So both sides are going to come with everything they have. It's a cliche to say that, but knowing that it really could be 40 minutes to play or 40 minutes to go home and end your season.
And that's what you should want. If you're a competitor, if you're a senior, it's the last time you're going to suit up, you should want that kind of pressure. And then not only having that kind of pressure, but being able to be on your home floor is huge, especially with the revenge factor and hopefully a lot to play for. So, again, the true competitor will come out. You should embrace that situation. But first things first, we've got to take care of Wednesday.
And I think one of the things you always say when you go on the road, you want to give yourself a chance in the fourth quarter. This is the fourth quarter of the season, and you've given yourself a chance.
We have, and that's all we could ask. There was a point in time where we didn't think we'd have that chance, but we've been able to pull through and give ourselves that chance, and we got to capitalize.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.